I have a container of products arriving within the next week, and my Google Merchant Center just got completely shut down, and I cannot appeal anymore, and it's done. Today, I'm joined with Brent. You might be able to tell with my frustration of this whole situation is that Google has fucked me on this front because I thought I was being quite smart about the way I approached my images for my new products, being that I didn't have the products on hand. So I took flat lays and had someone use AI to generate some really nice looking product images, which I've used on my website and then uploaded into Merchant Center. But as a result of that, my Merchant Center was completely disapproved, and after 3 appeals has been shut down.
Yep.
So leaves me in a bit of a situation where I've got a lot of product I'm going to have to try and work out how to sell, which obviously I'll find a solution for that with other channels and also rebuilding another Merchant Center. But I thought that it was a really good case study in terms of the changes that are happening within, well, first of all, the way that these platforms are reacting to AI and what businesses need to be aware of, because it can have some pretty big implications in terms of, well, just what my recent experience has been.
Yeah, so Google in 2024, they've essentially started to crack down on so many businesses, billions, literally billions of business accounts over the one thing that they're kind of pushing themselves, which is AI. So there's a lot of marketers out there that are obviously making use of AI content, which is absolutely awesome. Google's trying to encourage people to do that through their own sort of AI platforms and technology. But the issue is, especially when it comes to account suspensions, like you've seen with your business, there have been tens of billions of additional sort of suspensions over a lot of misuse with AI. So to read out some numbers, what we've got here is we've got removed 5.1 billion bad ads in 2024. They've restricted 9.1 billion ads, and then they suspended 39.2 million advertiser accounts as well, which is a 300% increase from 2023.
That's crazy, because by doing this, and I mean, they're potentially harming their own profitability.
Yeah.
Because these businesses are spending money on their platform.
Yeah.
But I guess that what they're trying to do is lead to a more positive user experience within the platforms, because there must be a bunch of junk on there that people are trying to sell or using ads to advertise.
Yeah, misuse,
So they must see it that the end goal is really to clean up the user experience on Google, because people, I guess, have been probably having a pretty shit experience there recently.
Yeah, I think it's just exactly that. There's a lot of people that are coming out and they're just trying to abuse as much as they can of AI. They don't really think about filtering it and making it less AI obvious, I guess. Like it's just trying to make sure that if you do generate AI content, make sure it actually looks somewhat normal. Don't create a whole lot of AI content and make it look like it's clearly AI and you're just trying to spam a whole lot of stuff. But in the same case, exactly your example is where the product looks perfectly normal. It looks honestly pretty crisp and pristine.
That's it.
Google still picked up on it and still flagged it. So it makes you think about how many other accounts out there. And we've gone through that process trying to appeal that. We went back and forth with Google. They gave us absolutely no support at all.
It was AI responses.
It was all AI responses. So it was using AI to flag it, AI to then generate responses, which then they had no idea how to fix it. So we just ended up with an account suspended.
Exactly. Without being able to speak to a single person throughout the whole process, there was nothing. And I mean, I was ready to spend a lot on advertising for this business.
Yeah.
And without being able to talk to anyone, they've just gone, nope, you're shut down.
Yep, done. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. And no indication as to what you can do to make it any better as well. No. So, I mean, think about the amount of advertisers that, one, either had no idea about this and they're trying to get their business going, that's fair. But what about the amount of advertisers that are doing everything perfectly within Google's guidelines? They get shut down, then Google's like, oh, well, we're going to do good at Bing.
Well, that's it. I mean, they've got such a monopoly on it. Like, it doesn't matter. And whilst I say I was going to spend a lot on it, to them, it means nothing. Like, it does, like that amount of money that I was going to spend literally means not a single thing. And so I guess back to what you've read out just before, what do you think they mean by a bad ad? Because when I see what they put out in terms of their AI-generated shit that it's recommending, like, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's horrible.
So we've done screenshots of ads where it's pulled 2 headlines that it's auto-generated right next to each other, and it's just like,
it looks horrible.
Call us and something stupid next to it that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is a bad ad that they're actually even getting rid of?
Yeah, no, it's anything that's a bad ad. I think it just comes down to the actual structure of the ad as well, like the amount of formatting issues that so many creators, or you see some ads, or I guess agencies out there that are creating their own ads, and they have like different capitalization of different letters and words, and it's just all over the place. But it's such a broad definition.
It is. Maybe it's the landing page. Maybe it's ads going go into poor user experience landing pages, and maybe that's more of what it's like the ads. But the ads is where it's sending people, and it's just junk. It's just sending people to places that are going to scam their money. It's people aren't going to ship the product. It's there
fake
just
promises,
to take it.
Stuff like that.
That's it. Or it's not web friendly. It's just bad experience for people once they actually arrive on that page, and so they're trying to push people to actually give a good experience from the ads.
But we went through misrepresentation, which
what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. Everything was perfect in the account, like in the actual Google Merchant Center account, perfect. On the website, something had to be getting flagged on the website.
I even put my phone number on the website, like my mobile number. I was like, come on, I can't get more real here. I've got my number, my name, my email, everything.
My home address.
Like, just let me do this. And they were like, no.
The nothing. But you even started using images that were directly from the manufacturer's suppliers and the website. Everything was all perfectly lined up. And then Google was like, but we don't really like you anymore. So, sorry, dude. Like, it's all bad now.
I know.
So it's a big conundrum. I reckon it's going to increase in 2025. However, with that being said, we've seen, especially, and there's a bit of a sidebar as well with Temu, they're now completely out in the US. They no longer can advertise in the US based on the tariffs and be able to remain profitable. I don't know how they were profitable in the first place. But I think that a lot of those sort of poor advertisers, they're going to start drawing out of those markets, potentially make Australia more competitive. But then we're going to also see a decrease in a lot of spammy, low quality, shitty sort of advertisers as well. So I think it's going to level the playing field in regards to competitiveness, but I think right now, especially, every brand needs to really find what's unique to their brand and advertise that more than anything, and don't go doing some fancy shit with AI. It's just it's a bad,
unless you're doing it in Google's platform.
Exactly. Unless you use Google's, everything Google.
Because that was you said to me, because I said I wonder whether it's these AI images that's causing the problem, and you're like, but you can do AI images in Merchant Center.
And they've been pushing it for so long.
What's the problem here?
It makes no sense. So you can do AI headlines, copy, product images. Literally in Google's guidelines, it says do not use images with backgrounds. But then when you use Google's AI image generator, it only does, even if I search.
And it's such bad.
It's horrible. It's really, really shit.
You'd never use it.
Exactly. And it's always really busy backgrounds. But even if I search and give it the prompt of white background, nothing else, it will still give me, a background of a kitchen or like an outdoor area or something like that. So Google's one product that is banning everyone is also the one thing that violates its own policy.
It would give a bad experience. Like if I was to use the images they generated, you'd get no clicks on the ads because it looks like it's like a product half sitting on a table that with no shade, it just looks like it's clearly done with AI or just bad Photoshop. Like it doesn't work. And so it's frustrating. And I mean, we're saying that it's from the AI images, but we don't even know. Like I figured that's it because that's the only thing we've done differently here than every other merchant center we've set up over the past and never had this issue. So I feel it's got to be the AI. But again, we haven't had a single bit of information back from Google to tell us why the merchant center was
just misrepresentation
to men. So
I don't know. Google.
It's fun.
It's ongoing issue.
But we'll I'll do an update on this whole saga in terms of trying to get this merchant center back up and running. But Brent, anything else you want to add? I guess you did mention that you feel like maybe potentially competitiveness may lower on the platform if they are getting rid of a lot of these shit advertisers. So it should mean a positive for people who are actually advertising something of value, because really your CPC should go down. Google probably won't let that happen. But the end result should be that there should be less competition on the platform, meaning lower cost per clicks and better conversion rates for people who are actually selling something of value.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest impact we're going to notice is with display ads, because that's generally where you see a lot of these low quality, ad placements. And naturally, if you see a whole lot of shitty ads in one specific area, you're going to start to ignore it. Same as like if we're driving past a billboard on the road, the amount of billboards we drive past, we completely ignore most of them until we're actually considering buying that product, or maybe there's something about it that's caught our attention, whatever it might be. When we know we're being advertised to, we ignore it. So I think display ads right now, when there's so many low quality ads that are coming up, people learn to ignore it. So hopefully now, with a lot of that low quality stuff got pushed aside, hopefully now we can start to rely on display ads to become this high quality sort of display promotional platform, as opposed to where it is right now. It just seems a bit more spammy and cheap for that reason. So 100%. I'm hoping that's the case, because that would just mean that a lot of advertisers can spend a heck of a lot more on their platform and actually generate some sort of profit from it.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Well, thank you for joining again today, Brent. And everybody who has been listening and watching on YouTube, thanks for watching or listening to the podcast. Thank you.